Hello friends and welcome to my channel. I be all designing developer. So like you all know that previously we have covered up many of the things using C++ and in the previous videos I have told you that how to use inheritance in C++ in which we have covered up many of the things and I hope you understand that video. So in this video we will be learning about polymorphism and I'll be telling you that what is this word polymorphism, what is mean by that and how we use polymorphism here in C++ because already we have worked with polymorphism in Python but we haven't seen if we are working with these things in C++. So how effectable is that? So today in this video, we will be learning about that and I hope you'll be enjoying this video in which we will be learning about polymorphism and then we will be seeing that how we can create one program using this thing here. So if you understand this video and if you enjoy this amazing tutorial here, so remember to hit a like to this video. And if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like that, so remember to subscribe and after subscribing, hit notification bell as well so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading on this channel. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's get started. So now here we are on the computer screen and like I told you that in the start we'll be learning about polymorphism. We'll be seeing that what is this word mean by polymorphism which we are seeing here. So now if we start with what is meaning by polymorphism. So polymorphism means many forms and it occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance like we have learned in previous video. Like we specified in the previous chapter, inheritance lets us inherit attributes and method from another class. Polymorphism uses those methods to perform different tasks. This allow us to perform a single action in different ways. So if we talk about polymorphism basically, so like we have learned inheritance in previous video and in inheritance we have created some inherit attributes and methods from one class or another class and polymorphism uses those methods which we create with inheritance and they perform different tasks and that's why we use polymorphism and polymorphism means many forms like I've told you here. Now this allows us to perform a single action in different ways. That's an amazing thing of polymorphism. I think that for example, think of a base class called animal that has a method called animal sound. Derived classes of animals could be pigs, cats, dogs, birds and they also have their own implementation of an animal sound. The pig owns and the cat meows, etc. So these are the, you can say, the animal voices like we see and these things are being produced by this polymorphism and polymorphism used methods and perform different tasks and methods, not only simple methods, the methods which we use with inherit attributes and methods, that methods are being used by polymorphism to create these animal sounds like we seen here. So there can be different type of animal sounds which you can create using this polymorphism and this is the simple program which we are creating of animal sound and we will be using base classes here. With that we will be also using derived classes and I have also just used some other classes as well which are normal one, but I have already told you about base class and derived class in my previous video, so you can check that out if you have not learned about that. I'll be giving the link in description and I'll be also just giving the I button from where you can check that out. So if we see that what is base class, so in base class I have created one class which is called as animal. You can create any of the class with any name, like I am creating animal sound program, so that's why I'm just using the same class of animal and in this class I am adding a public keyword. With that I am also adding a void which is a, you can say, public is a specifier and this void which we are adding is a keyword and in this keyword I'm defining a value which is animal sound because I want a return value from here from this class. That's why I'm defining a keyword called void and after that in this void keyword I am using animal sound, my another class name with the keyword, and after that in this count I'm writing the animal makes a sound and the animal sound will be like the animal sound like if I'm using a animal cat, so the cat will be having a sound as meow like this, and if I'm using a dog so obviously it will be barking. So that's why I'm just using these animal names so that I can define their sounds as well. So like I'm using a pig here, so I'm using a pig class and I'm using a public animal and in that I'm defining a public specifier like I'm using here which is called as specifier and in that I'm using another animal sound class like I've used at the top so that I can get same voice like I'm using here. And you can use different thing as well if you want to use different animal here, so you can use different animal here and down. And if we see here, remember from the inheritance chapter that we use the semicolon symbol to inherit from a class, so like that we will be using this semicolon symbol here also to inherit a method from polymorphism, and now we can create pig and dog objects and override the animal sound method. And we will be using these two things, like these two objects, and we will be overriding them into animal sound method, which is this base class, drive class. These are the two type of classes which we are using here. And then in last you will be getting all these things defined here, and then you will be getting the output in the console, or you can say in any of the text editor which you're using. Like if I'm using VS Code here, so I'll be pasting all these things in VS Code, then I'll be getting my output running in my terminal. If I'm using Replit, so I'll be getting all the things running in the console or output, you can say. Why and when to use inheritance and polymorphism? It is useful for code reusability. Reuse attributes and methods of an existing class when you create a new class. I've also told you in inheritance when we were learning about that. So I've told you that we are using inheritance because it is useful for code reusability. So if we talk about why we use inheritance and polymorphism and where we have to use them. So if I want to use it for code reusability, like, you know, if I want to save any code, or if I want to use the code which is useful for me, so there I will be using inheritance and polymorphism, and I will be reusing the attributes and method of existing class which I have created, and I'll be creating a new class with the help of that. And that's an amazing thing about polymorphism and inheritance, if I say you. So now what I'm going to do is I'll be just copying this practical example from here, and after doing it, I will be just moving on to my Replit IDE, because you all know that previously on we were just working on our Replit IDE. So I'll be opening that here, and I will be just opening Replit by pressing Replit here. So this is the replit.com, which is the site to use Replit, and you can just create your own account using your Gmail, and then you can create different type of repls you want. So remember, you can only create 3 repls in Replit, and after that you need to purchase it. But if you don't want to do that, so you can use one REPL again and again, so that you don't need to purchase it. Like I'm using one REPL again and again, and my first REPL name was inheritance in C++, which we were using in previous video. And now I will be changing this, and like I have told you that we are creating one animal sound program, and we are just using polymorphism here. So I will be writing polymorphism like this, and I will be writing in C++ because we are learning polymorphism in C++. That's why I'll be writing this thing here, and I will be pressing enter. After doing this, you can just see we are getting all the things working, and we are also getting polymorphism here. So it means many forms. You can also write many forms in C++ like that, but I'm using polymorphism as a keyword because polymorphism is a you can say a tag, or you can say a keyword which we use to create many forms of different classes and many forms of different inherit attributes and methods which we have seen here. So what I'm going to do is now I'll be removing all the things, and I will be now adding starting codes here, which is include IOStream, which is the first starting code of C++. And then after that I will be writing include IOStream, which we have already written. So I'll be writing using namespace std with that, and I'll be pasting all the things which I have copied, because I'm creating a class, so I don't need to create again init main class in which I'll be adding all the things. So normally I will be creating a class at start which is named as animal, so that's why I don't need to create another class. I'll be calling all the things in my main class, so I'll be pasting all the stuff here. And after doing it, if I just show you, you can just see we are getting different animal name. You can also change animal name if you want, like if I write here cat like this, and here as well I need to change it like cat says. I will be writing like this, and then I will be writing meow meow like this. So you can just see we have changed the animal sound here, and the other sound which we are getting of dog, which is bow wow like this, we are getting the sound. And you can give any of the sound here you want to, but you need to write it so that we can get it in our terminal running here. After that we need to run this thing as well. So for running we need to use the init main class so that we can call all these functions and we can run it, because if I run here you can just see output is empty, or you can say we can get an error as well. So that's why we need to do one thing, we need to call all these things in init main, and for that I need to go to my Word document again, and I have shown you in the end that we have all the things running here. So if I show you, you can just see these are the things here. So what I'm going to do is now I will be simply copying these things till here, and I will be just moving to my Replit IDE again, and I'll be pasting these things. And after doing that, if I show you, you can just see we are getting one base class here, then again we are getting two derived class because we will be using two animal name, that's why. And now I will be changing one animal name from here. I will be writing in the place of pig as cat, and then here as well I will be writing cat, and I will be just changing the animal name here, which is like meow, like this, and here as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'll be moving down and I will be changing the names in my running function of main as well, because I am running a different animal name here, so that's why I need to change animal name here as well. So I'll be writing here like this, C will be capital, and here also I will be writing same thing. Now what I'm going to do is here, like if I move at the top, so you can just see the count function which we have defined is not running here, so I will be writing like this. And if I just show you now, so the error which we were getting is now gone, and here again we are getting an error. So we have to check why we are getting it, because the public animal which we are using is a keyword and public is a specifier, so all the things I think is fine. So if I run it to check the output, so we need to get the output as this thing first running as meow meow with the cat sound, and the other sound is of dog, so we will be getting this sound running. What I'm going to do is I'll be running it here, and after running you can just see we are getting an error in count. And the error, if I show you what we are getting, is that if I move to my but document, so here normally if I'm using a class, so in class normally I'm using animal sound, and in animal sound I'm using a count animal sound like this. But in the place of it, if I use this thing here, so you will be getting an other output running in the terminal. But if I just copy this class whole again by itself, and then if I move on to my Google Chrome, and then if I paste it here like this, and if I run, so the output which now we will be getting will be again an error like this we are getting. So in the place of all these things, I'll be pasting the thing which we have copied from the top. So what I'm going to do is I'll be moving here, and I will be just pasting the things which we have copied here, so that we can get the output running. Now paste it again, and after pasting I'll be running it here like this, and we are getting an error in the count. So just I'll be moving on here, and then I will be pressing Ctrl Z like this, and then you can just see we are getting the count here running like this, and here in the public as well. So if I move on to my Google Chrome again, so the count which we are using is just in the animal sound, so that's why we will be just getting an error here like this. So we need to just add the count like this, and then we need to define this function here. If I write this and if I didn't give the space, so you will be not getting an error, and when you will be running you will be getting the output. First the output you will be getting will be the sound of the pig which you have added, and the other sound you will be getting of dog which you have added, so that you will be getting all the things running. And now for running we will be using same outputs or same things which we have used at the top. So I hope you understand how we can use polymorphism in C++ and how we can create a simple program using it. Because if we talk about polymorphism and inheritance, there is not really different between them, but one difference you can say is that, like, when we use inheritance we use different inherit attributes and methods, and that inherited methods which we are using in inheritance will be used by polymorphism, and that's why the polymorphism we used is very useful to just add some codes. And that's all for this video, and I hope you understand that how we are using polymorphism, how we are using base class and drive class with that. So if you have enjoyed this video and if you understand about polymorphism from start, so remember to hit a like to this video, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like that, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell as well, so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading in future. So just I'll be meeting you next project or in next tutorial here of C++ from start. So for today, goodbye.